Hello and welcome to Pat's Picks episode 8. Today we are going to be talking about two games and last night's game 1 of Boston, Florida. Now, before I get into my picks tonight and before I go over what I got wrong last night and what I got right, I've won 5 out of 7 days I've posted so far. This is a series that's made just for me to share my bets and my thoughts. I'm not telling you to tail, although you would have made money if you had so far. And I just would hope if you like the videos, if you like the content, that you could hit the subscribe button down below. Helps me out a bit, grows the channel, grows the community. And really what I really want is comments about your thoughts on what's going to happen. If you're not someone who bets, don't sweat it. If you're someone who bets, sweat it. But include what you think's going to happen in the comments, guys. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. And that's kind of what I do this for, is for the comments. There hasn't been a ton lately, so hopefully that can change. But let's talk about this Bruins Game 1 victory and the bets I made last night quickly before I talk about tonight's bets. So I went 2 for 4 yesterday, only my second losing day on the channel, but I only lost $5.45, and at the end of the day, that's not terrible. You're going to have losing days. Hopefully they're small. I had over 3.5 shots on Reinhart. If I see over 3.5 on Reinhart at plus odds, I'm taking it. I don't care if he had 0 shots in the previous 2 games. That guy scored 56 goals this year. He's a shooter. He's more than likely going to shoot. He shot, and I won that bet. 10 to win, 13.50. Over 5.5. This one was played out a lot differently than I thought, but I won it anyway. I thought the Panthers were going to score 2-3 goals. I thought the Bruins were going to score 2-3 goals. I thought it was probably going to go over 5.5. I thought each team was going to score, to be honest, and only one team scored, but thankfully they scored enough for me. And then we look at the losers last night. Bobrovsky fell 1 save short here. Very upsetting. He only needed like 7 going to the third, but I think score effects kind of took him out of that. I was big on Brandon Montour point. As you can see, that tanked all of these bets, but these 2 bets up here were pure lottery tickets. As you can see, plus 1,400, plus 6,500. Aim for the sky, guys. And like I said at the end of the last video, I didn't like that I did $20 of lotto type bets. And when I say lotto type bets, it's things that I don't think will happen, but I think could happen, so it's worth throwing a few bucks on it. This should have been like 10 and a 5 or 5 and a 5. It shouldn't have been 15 and 5. It shouldn't have been 20 bucks total with how I played my hand. Montour, I did think was going to get a point just because of last year's performance against the Bruins in the first round. Didn't happen. But at the end of the day, we lost $5. We're up about 70. If you do total bet minus differential from total walkaway, it's about $70. 11.17% winning so far. Total bet versus total walkaway. 16 and 23 record, so I lose more than I win, but I win money-wise because I have more lost total bets because of the lotto picks, if we're being honest. My big bets I typically hit, to give you an idea if you're new. Let's talk about Rangers-Canes. I like bounce-back performances, and I think Carolina is an extremely well-coached team that doesn't usually win games back-to-back. I sat on the fence in Game 1 because I didn't really know how it was going to play. I was feeling Carolina might win Game 1, and the first period just didn't go their way. New York crowd was rowdy. 2 power play goals in the first period. Things just didn't go Carolina's way, but I don't think it was indicative of how the game really played out. I thought Carolina was fine. Nothing about that game was concerning except for the penalty kill. But I think New York's just a very skilled team, and occasionally they're going to do that to you. That being said, it's unlikely New York is 100% on the power play going forward, but damn, they have a pretty good power play. That being said, I like the over in this series because I think there's going to be some calls going the Canes' way tonight. I think that both teams have a lot of offensive depth. I think both teams like their D getting activated in the rush, and this kind of creates an open scenario where I think you're going to see goals. Now, if that goes the way that it goes the whole series, the talent edge goes to the Rangers. But at the end of the day, it's hard to see this series not going 7 games. So I might just bet the team that lost the previous game to win the next game going forward. Like if Carolina was to lose tonight, I'm probably doubling this 25 on them and putting 50 on them in Game 3. Because I really have a tough time seeing this Carolina team lose 3 in a row. Especially if they lose 2 games. And then Game 3 at home where it's like must win. There's going to be an urgency that Rob Brindamore's team plays with. I mentioned the over for the reasons. I combine Carolina with over 2.5. I find it very unlikely that Carolina wins this game and only scores 2 goals. So I thought it was a little worthwhile to put it in there. Who knows? Maybe Frederick Anderson masterclass. I don't see it. I think he's a little shaky in big environments like this, which is why the Canes are a little sketchy going all the way. But outside of that, I like this Canes team tonight. And then going back 2 episodes ago, I was big on Svechnikov, and he didn't play bad necessarily, but he made a few mistakes, a few bad penalties. He took a really bad one with 40 seconds left in the game when the Carolina Hurricanes were really pushing the Rangers. A lot of people are going to look at the scoreline from last game and see when the goals are scored and not think much about it, but Carolina was pushing hard, and New York looked kind of shaky trying to close the game out, in my opinion. And I think Svechnikov is going to try to right his wrong. He took 2 penalties, didn't get on the board. I think he's going to get on the board tonight. I think he's going to be shooting the puck. So I put 15 to win about, what's that, like a little under $30 there. Gensel took a lot of shots last game. He took 4. I think this series is going to have a little bit more openness to it, especially if the games are tight, because both teams are going to be pushing for goals because they know they're going to need to score. Gensel only has 1 goal in the playoffs. I think he feels like he needs a goal. I think he's going to be shooting. He's a playoff performer. I'd expect a bounce-back game from Svechnikov and Jake Gensel tonight. If you're not big on the Kane scoring, you could just do the shots. Svechnikov shots, I think, is minus 130. Jake Gensel's minus 150, as you can see here. But those are my bets for this game tonight. I feel pretty good about them, if I'm being honest, which, yeah, that's never a good thing to feel good about your bets. Just kidding. It's good to feel good, but I always get a little, I'm like, am I too comfortable? We then move on to Avs in Dallas, and this game is a tough one to predict, but I'm going to go with logic here and say the team that played a tight 7-game series against the defending Stanley Cup champions is just going to be a bit more sharp than the team that played very, what's the word I'm looking for to describe the Jets? They're not bad, they just kind of defeated. They got defeated mentally, I think, is really what happens. They lost both their home games. They got kind of crapped on. Actually, I think they won the first one, but they gave up 6 goals. I think Hellebuck's confidence was a bit down. I think the Avalanche just turned into a runaway train against them, and I think the Jets were mentally beat more so than talent beat. But like the talent of the Avalanche, they get confident they're hard to beat. But this Dallas Stars team has been through the ringer the last few years in terms of playoff matchups, difficult opponents. Like, they can handle anything. I think they're just going to be a bit more sharper. I think this series is going to go 6 or 7. It'd be hard to see Colorado scoring power not at least getting them to 6 games. I favor Dallas in the series, though, although the scoring prowess of the Colorado Avalanche series had me a little hesitant tonight, because I was like, man, this is a game that Dallas can win 3-1, but at the same time, if the Colorado Avalanche goal scorers get going, this could be like a 6-5 game, 6-4. So I do like the over of 6.5, but I'm not betting it because I think it's a coin flip, and I don't like that. We then go to another lotto pick, and man, these are going to kill me at the end of the day. If you really want to make money, don't trail my lotto picks. But this one was a lot to win a lot, to say the least. I shouldn't say 25 is not a lot, but it would win a lot. Nathan MacKinnon goal scorer. I hate goal scoring bets, but I did this kind of just for the odds, to be honest. Dallas Stars winning under 6.5 game total. Makar over half point. Here's my logic on this. This is a good bet to make for the odds if you have a 50% odds boost like DraftKings Gaming. 25 max bet. Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar. Do I need to say more? If Dallas wins 4-1, there's a chance that Makar and MacKinnon are on that 1 goal. If it ends 4-2, there's a chance. If it ends 3-2, basically, I need the Dallas Stars to hold the Colorado Avalanche to under 3 goals, which I think is very possible with how Dallas has been playing. If Dallas holds the Avalanche to under 3 goals, they're winning the game. So I think these things go together enough to the point where the odds, in my opinion, are worth it. Now, to give you an idea of something that hit yesterday that's similar to this, the Bruins winning, Panthers under 3.5, Barkov over a point, Kachuk goal. That hit yesterday. If you take away the odds boost from my bet today, it is very similar to this in terms of things that you need to happen that aren't exactly likely to happen but can happen. So I just want to show you a bet like this can hit because it hit yesterday. And that's kind of my thought with the boost. Why not throw a lotto ticket out there for $25? And then my lock of the day, if you've gotten to this point of the video, congratulations. You deserve to see my lock of the day. And my lock of the day is the Dallas Stars over 2.5, Rangers over 1.5. Now, as you know from me talking about the Rangers-Hurricanes game, I think there's goals in it. The Rangers at home are probably going to score multiple goals. It's hard to see the Rangers scoring one or less goals at home. So, enough said there. Dallas Stars. I think win or lose, Dallas hits this over. Now, I think if Colorado wins, it's going to be a little more open of a game. I think if Dallas wins, you can score 3-4 goals in a shutdown game. That's how I look at it. This is the biggest bet I placed on this channel so far of $50. It would win 45. So let's say this hit, it would basically cover the lotto ticket bet I just made and give me $20 on top of that. And that's the thing. I think the reason the lotto bets have been killing me is because percentage-wise, they have been a little too close percentage-wise to my normal bets. So I've been betting 20, 25, 30, and then my lottos have been about 10, 15, and even in some cases 20. The lotto bet should probably be about 20% of my lock bets, which I think my lock bets are going to get a bit bigger going forward, just because I'm feeling a little more comfortable with my picks and how to manage the money. Whereas, but when I first started episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe even last episode a little, I think like the proportions I was doing was not equal to what they should have been. And I have a bit of money to play with, so why not play with it? You know, gamble responsibly, obviously, but the amounts I'm betting is not going to put me in the hole enough for me to care. This is just for fun at the end of the day. So, like I said, let me know your picks in the comments down below. These are my picks for today. Like I said, we've won 5 out of 7 days so far, so at the end of the day, my goal is just to be positive by the end of this and to have some fun in the community, in the comment section, talking about bets. So please comment. That's what I'm here for the discussion. Hope to see you in the next video. Hope to see you subscribe. Have a great day. Enjoy the hockey.